how to write the interpolation polynomial, and what are the different rules for writing the interpolation polynomial, and what are the benefits of higher order element and linear element. Now we have started this interpolation polynomial in terms of global coordinate system. That means here there are two parts. One is interpolation polynomial in terms of global coordinate system, and one in terms of the local coordinate system. Okay, here we will discuss interpolation polynomial in terms of global coordinate system. That means we will write the or formulate the interpolation polynomial in terms of global coordinate system for simplex elements. Now we will limit our content up to two-dimensional elements. Why? Because if we go for three-dimensional elements, process is same to the two-dimensional elements, but number of equations are more. Okay, and it is time consuming. That means if we go for three-dimensional element, minimum size of the matrix is 4 by 4. Okay, so we will not go for, our content is also limited to the two-dimensional elements. Okay, here in this unit we will derive the interpolation polynomials for one-dimensional linear element and two-dimensional linear element. Okay, both in terms of the global coordinate system and local coordinate system. Now we have started this one-dimensional simplex element. Now this is a one-dimensional simplex element. It has node I, node j, and phi I is the field variable at I, phi j is the field variable at j. Location of node I is xi, location of node j is xj, and phi is a field variable. It may be displacement or it may be temperature for thermal analysis. Now we have already seen this. This is the interpolation polynomial for field variable, or this equation is giving the variation of the field variable over the element, that is alpha 1 plus alpha 2 x. Alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the generalized coordinates and x is the global coordinate. Now if this is the variation of the field variable over the element, then it should be satisfied at nodes. If phi I is the nodal value of the field variable at I and phi j is the nodal value of the field variable at j, then we can write phi I equal to the alpha 1 plus alpha 2 xi. This equation we can write at node number I or node number 1. We can say it is phi I equal to the alpha 1 plus alpha 2 xi. Now same thing at node number j, we can write phi j equal to alpha 2 plus alpha 2 xj. Okay, this I have explained. Now after that we are solving these two equations, that is equation number 2 and 3, for calculation of alpha 1 and alpha 2. For calculation of alpha 1 and alpha 2, we are solving these two equations. Okay, now after solving these two equations, we got this alpha 1 equal to the phi I xj minus phi j xi divided by xj minus xi, alpha 2 phi j minus phi I xj minus xi. If you have doubt in this, you can ask me. Already I have explained this, how to calculate this. Just you have to calculate the alpha 1 and alpha 2 from these two equations. You solve these two equations for alpha 1 and alpha 2. Okay, now it is simple thing, simple simultaneous equations that you have to solve. After that you put this in first equation. And one more thing I want to tell you here, same procedure we are using for all elements, not only for one dimensional. Same procedure we are repeating for two dimensional, for three dimensional. Only number of nodes and number of equations are increased. Okay, after that we will put this alpha 1 in this equation. Okay, and we can write the interpolation polynomial in terms of this nodal values of the field variables and nodal coordinates or coordinates of the nodes. Okay, now you can see here you will get phi x is equal to, this is your alpha 1, that is phi I xj minus phi j xi divided by xj minus xi, phi j minus phi I, this is your alpha 2 and into x. That just we have used alpha 1 and alpha 2, values of alpha 1 and alpha 2 in equation 1. Okay, after that what we will do, we will combine the terms of phi I. Here coefficient of phi I is xj divided by xj minus xi. Here coefficient of phi I is x divided by xj minus xi, and we can take phi I common from this term and this term. Okay, and same thing we can repeat for phi j. Here multiplier of phi j is xi divided by xj minus xi, and multiplier of phi j is x divided by xj minus xi. Here there is a negative sign, therefore I can write phi j into x minus xi divided by xj divided by xj minus xi, and phi I into xj minus x. Now you can see here, this just I have written coefficient of or multiplier of phi I and multiplier of phi j by combining the terms of phi I and phi j. Okay, phi I and phi j. Now I think this is simple thing, and already I have discussed this one. After that, if you go for this one xj minus xi, here if you go for this figure, here L is the length of element. This is your L, length of the element, and it is the difference between xj minus xi. That is, xj minus xi is length of the element, that is from here to here. This is the length of element, and this length of element is xj minus xi. Therefore I have replaced this term and this term by L. Okay, by L. Now you know these terms are shape functions. These terms are shape functions. Already you have discussed this in unit number 1. Okay, and this is simple thing. Now here I will replace this term by shape function ni, and I will replace this term by shape function nj. Now phi x, it becomes ni phi I plus nj phi j, where ni and nj are the shape functions. Now these shape functions ni nj are shape functions, and if we write this equation in matrix form, you will get ni nj as a one matrix and phi I phi j as a nodal values of the field variable matrix. Now you have to remember here phi is equal to the n into phi. Phi equal to n into phi. If we write for displacement, u equal to n into u. Now here in finite element method or in all books, these notations are same. Only difference is this is your variable field variable, and this one is constant field variable, or these are the values of the field variable at the nodes. Okay, now same thing for phi. If we write phi is equal to, every time we are not writing phi is a function of x, because here this is for one dimensional. If we go for two dimensional, it is phi is equal to phi xy. Okay, if we go for three dimensional, it is phi xyz. Okay, phi is equal to n into n is a shape function matrix, and your nodal values of the field variable is phi matrix. Can you get this? How I have written in matrix form? Here this is very important concept, very important thing. Very important. Shivam Bhoskar, can you get this? This equation?
Yes, sir.
N into phi. N is your shape function matrix, and shape function matrix is xj minus x upon L and x minus xi upon L, and this we need for solving the problems also. There are numericals on this also that I will show you. Now you have to remember this as the equation of shape function, and this is also equation of shape function. This is ni and this is nj. Okay, here in case of one dimensional linear element, there are only two shape functions. If we go for higher order elements, number of shape functions are increased. Okay, if we go for two dimensional element, number of shape functions are more. For three dimensional also, number of shape functions are more. Okay, so in general field variable phi is equal to shape function matrix into phi matrix. Here, while deriving the finite element equation for specific applications, what we are doing, we are using this equation, that is n into pi. Pi is equal to n into pi, or for you this structural discipline, u is equal to n into u. Okay, sorry, for structural discipline it is u is equal to, u is a field variable and it is product of shape function matrix. Shape function matrix, this is, you have to remember, this is known as shape function matrix, and this matrix, it is a column matrix, it is your nodal displacement matrix. Nodal displacement matrix. Okay, now if we go for thermal discipline, it is T is equal to n into your T matrix. Okay, n into T matrix. Have you got it? Now this is a general field variable and these are the specific disciplines field variables. Okay, now this is u, this u is ui uj and this t is ti tj. Okay, and here if we go for one dimensional linear element, this n is equal to ni nj. Okay, now after that, where ni and nj are the shape functions and ni is xj minus x upon l and nj is x minus xi upon l. Now already we have discussed the properties of the shape functions. What are the properties of the shape functions? Already I have told you in first unit. Here these are the properties of the shape functions. If you see these equations and if we go for this one, now if I see these equations, here ni is variable and it is linear function of x for this element. Okay, for this element it is linear function of x, that is ni is function of coordinate. Nj, if we go for nj, it is also function of coordinate, and for this element it is also linear function of coordinate. So I can write shape functions are functions of the coordinates. This is one thing. Second thing, if I calculate the value of ni at node number I, ni at node number I, this equal to, you can write here xj minus xi divided by L. Okay, divided by L. But xj minus xi is also L. So this will be cancelled with this one and you will get ni equal to 1 at node number I. Okay. Now if we calculate the ni at node number j, it becomes here ni, it is xj. Now coordinate of node number j is, it is xj, okay, divided by L. Now this term will be cancelled with this one and it becomes 0 by L, or it is 0. That means ni is 1 at node number I and it becomes 0 at node number j. You can see here at node number I it is 1 and it decreases to 0 at node number j. Same thing when we go for the nj, if I calculate the nj at node number j, it becomes xj minus xi, okay, xi divided by L, or it is equal to the L by L, or it is equal to 1 at node number j. Okay, nj equal to 1 at node number j here, and it is linearly decreases towards the node I, because at node I it becomes xi minus xi, or 0 by L, or it is 0. So at node I it is 0. Okay, do you agree with this? Now, so these are the properties of the shape functions, and these properties are very important, and these properties are useful while solving the problem. You can get the solution, or you can check the solution yourself. If your shape functions are satisfying these properties, then your shape functions are correct. Otherwise, your shape functions are not correct. Okay, and this is applicable for one dimensional, two dimensional, three dimensional linear elements, higher order elements. That means for quadratic, cubic, all elements it is satisfying same properties. Okay, do you agree with this? You have to remember this. Yeah, you have to remember this. These properties are very important, and these properties are, you see this one, shape function ni is equal to 1 at node I and 0 at node j. Shape function nj is equal to 1 at node j and 0 at node number I. Now what we conclude from this? What do we conclude from this? That means shape function at its own node is equal to 1 and at other nodes it is equal to 0. Okay, that means if we consider ni, it is 1 at node I, and if your model have, or if your element have any number of nodes, at all other nodes it is 0. Okay, that means shape function at its own node is 1 and at remaining nodes it is 0. You have to remember this is very important property and it is one check of your solution. Okay, over. Now I will show you that in numericals. Now is there any doubt in this case? Here I am starting numericals on this and these numericals are very simple. If you have doubt, सायरा शिंदे काय doubt आहे का?
नाही
कोणाला doubt असेल तर विचारा. I will go to the numericals on this. Okay. I hope you have calculators and one more property, it is ni plus nj at any location it is 1. You can see here if we add these two equations, this x will be cancelled, this x will be cancelled, it becomes xj minus xi upon L, or it is 1. Okay. Now these three properties you have to remember. Now you take this problem. You take this problem. Are you taking this problem?
Yes, sir.
Do it fast. A one-dimensional simplex element, simplex means linear element, you have to remember, has been used to find the temperature distribution in a straight field. It is found that the nodal temperatures of element are 140 and 100 degree centigrade at nodes I and J respectively. If the nodes I and J are located at 2 cm and 8 cm from the origin, find the temperature at 0.5 cm from the origin. Okay. Also find the temperature gradient inside the element and heat flux through the element if K is equal to 20 watt per centimeter degree centigrade. Over. Over.
No, sir.
बराबर क्या? Mahadev Toramkar, have you finished it? Toramkar?
No, sir.
It requires hardly 1 minute. Okay, I will start now. Now listen me now. Now see here, what is this problem? This is the one pin is there. One pin is there and it is modeled with number of elements. Number of elements. Okay. Means here from here to here there may be one element. From here to here there may be one element. From here to here there is one element. Okay, this is one element, this is second element, this one is third element. It may have number of elements. Okay. Out of these elements, one element is selected. Suppose this element is selected. Okay, this element is selected and this element has first node it is at 2 cm. That means this node is at 2 cm from the origin. Origin is here. From here to here it is 2 cm. Okay, and second node it is at 8 cm. It is at 8 centimeter. Okay, it is at 8 centimeter. Now temperature at this node, you know how to calculate the temperature at the nodes. Already you have done it. Temperature at this node is 140, okay, and temperature at this node it is 100, okay, 100. Now by using these temperatures and these coordinates, you have to calculate the temperature at 5 centimeter. 5 centimeter means here, okay, 5 centimeter, that is that 5 centimeter point, 5 centimeter point, it is in the element, okay. You have to calculate that temperature. Now how to do this, I will show you. Now I will take only that element which is given in the problem, okay. Now see here, this is the element. Now this element has I node, it is at 2 centimeter from the origin. So x coordinate of this element is 2, that is xi is equal to 2, xi is equal to 2, okay, xi equal to 2 because it is located at 2 centimeter from the origin. Now this is the j node of this element and it is located at 8 centimeter from the origin. So x coordinate of that element is 8, that is xj is equal to 8, okay. Now here at node I you have temperature 140, at node j you have temperature 100, okay. Do you agree with this? Now you have to calculate the temperature at 5 centimeter. Now for this problem, first you have to calculate the shape functions. Now you have shape function equations, that is ni equal to xj minus x upon L, L is your 8 minus 2, okay, and nj is x minus xi divided by L, okay. Now I will start one by one. Shape function ni is xj minus x upon L, okay. Now you put the values in this equation. It is very simple. You see here, you have not solved problems simple than this, okay. Now ni is equal to xj minus x upon L, okay. Now you put the values of xj and L. Now you will get this 8 minus x divided by 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is length, that is xj minus x, okay, that is 8 minus x, xj is 8 minus x divided by 8 minus 2, it becomes 1.33 minus 0.167. Is it correct? Rushikesh Dore, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you tell me nj. Nj is x minus xi upon
L.
xi upon L. Yes. Now you put the values of xi and L and you tell the equation. Akshay Shinde.
Yes, sir.
It is x minus xi is 2 divided by 8 minus 2. Now you see here, is it correct? You check it. Kunal Patel, is it correct? Kunal Patel, whether it is correct or wrong? Kunal Patel नाही काय?
Yes, sir.
Whether it is correct or wrong?
Right, sir.
Okay. Now after that, this is the shape function. After that you write the interpolation polynomial. Interpolation polynomial for this, here it is a thermal problem. Therefore your field variable is temperature. Now temperature is equal to n into n matrix, that is shape function matrix, into your T matrix. into your T matrix. Now shape function matrix is Ni and J, and temperature matrix is Ti Tj. Ti Tj. Okay. Here it is Ni Nj. You can see here, this is a temperature matrix Ni and J, and this is Ti Tj. Okay. You know this one. This already we have derived. Okay. Now your interposition polynomial, you see here it is in simultaneous equation, it is in matrix form. Okay. Here you do the practice of matrices. Okay, because maximum cases we are solving by using matrices. Okay, here one dimensional is simple, therefore we are not going for matrix. But if we go for two dimensional and three dimensional, it is complicated. So solving that type of problems, solving the problems on two dimensional or three dimensional by using matrix, it becomes simple. Okay, so your T is equal to Niti plus NJTJ. Okay, now you put the values of Ni and Nj here and Ti and Tj here. Ti is your 140, Tj is 100. Ni is 1.33 minus 0.167. Nj is this 0.167 minus 0.33. So you will get this equation. You can see here. Again, I have not used the values of Ti Tj. Here you will get this equation. Is it correct? You check it. Is it correct? Whether it is correct or wrong?
Sir,
Yes.
correct.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Correct.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay.
Correct, sir.
Correct. One thing I want to tell you here. I have already told you shape functions, whether shape functions are correct or wrong. That we can check. How we can check? Here, if you calculate the value of Ni at node number I, what you will get here? Ni at node number I, you can see here. If you put the x is equal to coordinate of I node, what is the answer? Your answer? When we put x is equal to 1 here in this equation. Sairaj Sindhe. When we put x is equal to 2 here, not 1, 2. That is shape function at node number I. Akshay Patil.
Hello, sir.
Yes. What is value of shape
Sir,
function at node number I? Ni at I. इथे ते व्हॅल्यू पुट करून कॅल्क्युलेट कर.
हा एक मिनिट 0.996
0.99 means it is nearly equal to 1 na.
होय.
Means your shape function Ni is correct. Again, if you put x is equal to 8, x is equal to 8, what you will get here?
Zero.
0. Okay, that means this shape function is satisfying your properties. Now if you add these two equations, if we take the addition of these two equations, what you will get? This term will be cancelled with this one. Am I right? And 1.33 minus 0.33, is it equal to 1? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Here,
Yes, sir.
everywhere it should be satisfied. Otherwise, your calculation is wrong. Okay. Now this is the interposition polynomial. Now what is our question? Question is you have to calculate the temperature at a 0.5 centimeter from the origin. 5 centimeter from the origin. Now this is the interposition polynomial. This is the variation of field variable within the element. Now you can calculate the temperature at any location on the element by using value of x at that location. Okay, means for 5 centimeter you use x is equal to 5 in this equation and calculate the temperature at that location. Okay, now here temperature at x is equal to 5 centimeter. Put this value of x in above equation, that is your interposition polynomial. Now here this is your interposition polynomial. Now put x is equal to 5 in this equation. 5 in this equation. This will give the temperature at x is equal to 5. Now what is value of that?
119.93.
119.93. That is 120, na? It is 120. Is it correct? Whether it is correct or wrong? Rishikesh
Yes,
Kumar,
sir.
barabar hai? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, after getting this temperature, see here it will be asked at any location. These are very simple problems. And this, if you get this one dimensional, you can get two dimensional, three dimensional. It is very simple. It is same to this one. Just only one coordinate will be increased. Okay. Are you getting this? Now, after that, what you have to calculate? You have to calculate the next. You have to calculate temperature gradient. Temperature gradient means derivative of the temperature, dt by dx. dt by dx. For this calculation, you have this interpolation polynomial. You take the derivative of this with respect to x. That will give the thermal gradient or temperature gradient. Temperature gradient in the element. Okay. Now see here, this is dt by dx. dt by dx, or it is dni by, if we use this equation directly, dni by dx into ti, dnj by dx into tj. Ti, tj are constant. So here you can write this one. You can take direct derivative of this one because this is the shape function. Derivative of shape function is here minus 1.67 x into 140. Am I right? Are you getting this? You check it. Are you getting power? dni by dx. Are you getting or not? You reply
हॅलो
me.
सर.
Yes.
हॅलो सर.
Yes.
तर ते सगळ्यात पहिली स्टेप आहे ना, टी इज इक्वल टू. तर
T.
त्यामध्ये जर डायरेक्ट डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घेऊन डायरेक्ट व्हॅल्यू हे की मग ही स्टेप वगैरे काय करायची गरज नाही.
सेम थिंग आय हॅव डन हिअर ना. इथं टेम्परेचर कॅल्क्युलेट करायला सांगितलं होतं, तो टेम्परेचर कॅल्क्युलेट केला. बरोबर आहे.
हा तेच की, फक्त नंतर हे करताना फक्त ते डेरिव्हेटिव्ह घेऊन
हे
म्हणजे ते
इक्वेशन
1.33.
हा इक्वेशन लिहायची गरज नाही ना, असं
हा
म्हणतोय.
तेच. हा तेच.
See here, why I have written this equation, I will tell you, because it requires in future. See here, while deriving the finite element equations by using these shape functions, we need the derivative of this interpolation polynomial, and in that there may not be values. Okay, there may be only equations. Okay, I am going to show you again by other way also. Directly you can see here, for this problem you can directly do it. Directly you can take the derivative of this temperature and you can calculate it. Okay, or this equation is not necessary. You can directly take the derivative of this equation, and this equation is equivalent to this one. हे दोन equation same आहेत ना, हे दोन, because this is your shape function.
Yes, sir.
And this is also shape function. Okay, not necessary to do this step, but I have shown. Why I have shown, I will show you again. I am going to show in other way also. This is your thermal gradient. Now you see this one, it is in matrix form. You see this one. Okay, I want to explain the requirements of the future finite element analysis. Okay, now see here, if we write this in matrix form, derivative of shape function matrix into temperature matrix or nodal temperature matrix. Am I right? You see this equation. And this equation. Why I have taken this out of the derivative? Because it is constant term. If you write this equation, how it becomes? dni by dx into ti. Am I right? Because ti is only number. It is 140 here. Am I right? Do you agree with this? Therefore, your first term is dni by dx into ti, plus second term is dnj divided by dx into tj. Do you agree with this? Tj, and when we convert this in matrix form, you will get this form. Or Akshay Patil लक्षात आलं का तुझ्या?
हाँ हाँ ओके सर
Okay. Now this matrix we are or this matrix, name of this matrix in finite element method is B. This matrix is known as a B, and B matrix is the matrix calculated from the proper differentiation of the shape functions. Okay, this is B matrix, and it is calculated from the proper differentiation of the shape functions. Okay, so here it is different for different elements. It is different for different disciplines. Okay, do you agree with this? And this B matrix we need for formulation of the finite element equations. Okay, प्रत्येक डिसिप्लिनला तो वेगळा येतो, प्रत्येक इलेमेंटला तो वेगळा येतो. लक्षात. आणि तो मॅट्रिक्स म्हणजे काय आहे, आपण इफ यू अरेंज द शेप फंक्शन्स प्रॉपरली इन प्रॉपर मॅनर and if you take the derivative of the shape functions, the matrix formed by that derivative is known as the B matrix. Okay, it's the standard name in finite element method. That matrix is B matrix. Okay, now after that you put the values of this and you calculate this, you will get the same result. Okay, I will clear this. You see here, this is minus 1.67 and dnj by dx it is 0.167 into ti is 140, tj is 100. Now you will get same result, minus 6.68. Okay, I have shown this by two methods. Directly you can differentiate this equation, or you can write in matrix form and then you can differentiate. Okay, do you agree with this? See here, why I am going to include matrix in this example, because here equations are less, number of equations are less, that is number of quantities are less. Okay, and if number of quantities are less, then it is better to understand the concepts. Okay, so I have solved this problem by multiple ways, by using multiple equations. Okay, because I want to explain the requirement of next units. Okay, now this is the requirement of next unit. You have to write everything in matrix form. Okay, do you agree with this? And in case of two dimensional also, you have to write in matrix form. Otherwise these equations are becoming very complicated, because here you have only two terms, but in case of two dimensional or three dimensional elements or higher order elements, there are lot of terms. Okay, and handling more terms by using this type of equations is complicated as compared to the handling with matrix. Okay, so you make the practice of matrix, make the use of practice of use of matrix. Okay, for simple as well as for complicated problems. Now this is your derivative of shape function matrix, and this is your nodal values of the field variable matrix. Okay, now here you got the temperature gradient. After that you have to calculate the heat flux. Heat flux, what is the equation for heat flux for one dimensional case? Q is equal to, yes, Q is equal to, Shreyas,
minus k dt by dx.
minus k dt by dx. Okay, now you see here heat flux, it is minus k dt by dx. K is given that is 20, and dt by dx we have already calculated here. Okay, already we have calculated, it is 20 into minus 6.68 is equal to 133.6. This is the heat flux through the element. Okay, heat flux through the element. Have you got it? Any doubt here? It is simple one. And one more thing I want to tell you here, the notes which I have uploaded, I have missed this minus sign, so my result is negative here. Okay, you make the modification in that note. Or any doubt here? काय डाउट आहे का कोणाला? अजय मुदुरकर, any doubt?
sir.
Okay, now I will go to the next problem. Ajay Mudurkar, you should solve this problem. Now you write this problem. It is a structural problem.
सर 2 मिनिट जरा मागच्या साईड घे.
Over.
हा सर.
Next, write the next problem. Over. Have you finished it? Aditya Mane. Amol Patil. Can I go for next?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here for one-dimensional two-noded truss element, it is a structural element. The nodal displacements are u1 is equal to 0.04. Here in place of I and j, node numbers are 1 and 2. Okay, u1 is equal to 0.04 and u2 is equal to 0.08. Okay, calculate the displacement at L by 4, L by 2, where L is the length of the element and equal to 100 millimeter. Also calculate the strain and stress in the element. Take modulus of periodsity E is equal to 200 gigapascal. Okay. Now see here length of the element is given. Length of the element is given. Now when only length of the element is given, then you have to take the first element, first node at origin. You have to remember this. You take first node at origin. Okay, that means your nodal coordinate of first node is 0. Okay, now you can see here this is node number 1. In place of I and j, I have used the notations 1 and 2. Okay, node number 1 is at 0. Okay, and this is the length of the element, means node number 2 is at 100 millimeter. Here xi is equal to 0 and xj is equal to 100, or it is x1 is equal to 0 or x2 is equal to 100. Okay, because this 100 millimeter length of that element. Or next, now displacements are given. Displacement of node number 1 is 0.04 and displacement of node number 2 is 0.08. Okay, now you have to calculate the displacement at L by 4. Displacement at L by 4. Okay, next you calculate the displacement at L by 2. Okay, means if you are 100 millimeter, you have to calculate the displacement at L by 4 and you have to calculate the displacement at L by 2. Okay, now have you got this? Here you have to assume the first node is at origin.
Sir, ते
And
परत
in
सांगा
some-
जरा.
परत सांगू काय? Now you see here nodal coordinate of node number 1 is not given. Length of the element is given. Length of the element is given. If length of the element is given, then you have to assume the first node is at origin. First node is at origin. And one more thing I want to tell you here. In some books, for all questions, they have taken first node at origin. Okay, that means they have modified equation of the shape function also by taking first node at origin, that is ith node at origin. Okay, but we have taken xi as a general nodal coordinate of I node or first node. Okay, here length is given, so we will assume the first node at origin. Okay, and when we assume first node is as at origin, that is 0 coordinate, then length of the element, it is the your position of second node. Here this is your xi, okay, and this one is your xj. Now xj minus xi, it is the length of element, okay. Now if I assume the first node is at 0 location, then I will get xj is equal to length of element. So 100 is the nodal coordinate of node number 2. Okay, or here you have to remember this, or don't ask me why I have taken 0 here. Okay, while exam or during the exam, node number 1 is location of node number 1 is not given. You have to take it at origin. Okay. Now here this nodal displacements are there. Now same thing you repeat for this one also. Now your problem is structural problem. Therefore displacement is a field variable. In place of phi it is u. Okay. Now first you start with the shape functions. Now shape functions, your equation for shape function. Now in place of xj I have taken x2 because I am using 1 and 2 node number locations. Okay, xj minus x upon L, or it is x2 minus x upon L. Have you got it? Now x2 minus x upon L. Now you put the values of the x2. x2 is L. Am I right? x2 is 100 or it is L. Okay. Now for simplicity I will take L, and then when in calculations I will put that value of L. Okay. Now your shape function n1 becomes 1 upon 1 minus x by L. Am I right? Any doubt in this equation? Madhav Toramkar, if you have doubt you can ask me.
सर परत एकदा सांगा सर.
Okay. Now see here first node we have taken at origin. So x2 is length of the element, means from here to here this is length of the element. Okay, do you agree with this? Now here this x1 is 0 and x2 is L, or it is 100. Okay, 100. Now you have this equation of shape function, that is x2 minus x upon L or xj minus x upon L. Okay. Now here now you have this shape function equation, that is x2 minus x upon L. x2 is L minus x divided by L, Now when we solve this equation, okay, when we solve this equation, this L will be cancelled with this L, it becomes 1 and minus x by L. Have you got it? Avanti Nalode?
Yes, sir.
X minus 1 minus x upon L. This is a shape function n1. Now can you tell me what is shape function L2? Can anyone? Shape function n2. N2 is x minus x1 upon L. Now here x1 is 0 na? Am I right? x1 is 0 divided by it becomes how much it is? Kunal Patil? Kunal Patil, what is shape function n2?
X
Kunal
by
Patil
L.
आहे x by L. Okay, n2 is equal to x by L. Now you can see here addition of these two shape functions. This one plus this one. Is it 1? And at node number 1, n1 is equal to 1. Am I right? Do you agree with this? That means your
Hello,
shape
sir.
functions are
Hello, sir.
yes. Yes.
तर ते वर n वर सॉल्व का केलेलं नाही सर?
n1 हा काय?
सॉल्व का केलेलं नाही? हा तिथं व्हॅल्यू टाकून 1 मायनस 0.01 x येते तिथे.
0.01 x. ठीक आहे ना, चालतंय तिथं. तिथं केला तरी सॉल्व चालतोय, नाही केला तरी चालतोय. म्हणजे पुढे केला तरी चालतोय ना. डायरेक्ट आपण व्हॅल्यू टाकून इथं कसं एल चे आणि एक्स चे दोन्ही एका वेळेला व्हॅल्यू टाकले तरी चालतील ना. असं काही नाही की सॉल्व करायला पाहिजे असं. नंतर पण सॉल्व केला तरी चालतंय. हा
नाही म्हणजे मागल्या म्हणजे एक सम सारख्या स्टेपने गेला असतं ना म्हणजे
मागल्या सम सारखं आहे काय?
हा म्हणजे कन्फ्युजन होतं बाकी
हा सोपं आहे म्हणून मी एवढं त्याचं हे करत नाही म्हणजे ओके हिअर यू विल गेट 1 मायनस आणि हे कसं आहे डेरिव्हेटिव्ह वगैरे घ्यायला बरं पडतंय ना 1 मायनस 0.01 ना
नाही फक्त आता 1 फक्त 0 कॅन्सल करा ते
1
हा 1 डिवाइड बाय 100
आणि
इथं 0.01 x
01 x
तर तिथं वर x राहील
x ठीक आहे ओके next after that you write the interpolation polynomial अक्षय पाटील तुझं हे बंद कर नंतर इंटरपोलेशन पॉलिनॉमियल हा कोणाचा आहे हा कोण शंका विचारणार आहे काय yes any student have any doubt if you have doubt you can ask me you can stop me okay next now after that you write the interpolation polynomial so here interpolation polynomial I have written in this form now you can write in this form also it is here your in variable is displacement it is u therefore you have to write the interpolation polynomial for u okay now u is equal to ni nj ui uj ni nj ui uj okay that already we have seen here ni is n1 nj is n2 ui is u1 uj is u2 okay now you can see here u is equal to n1 u1 n2 u2 and this equal to I have used these values this value here and this value here okay now after that you will get if you put this value you will get like this that is 1 minus 0.01 x into u1 plus 0.01 x u2 okay have you got it this you will get here or as per your regular or last method of last problem you will get this equation okay now after that this is your interpolation polynomial now after that what you have to calculate you have to calculate the displacement at L by 4 अक्षय पाटील लक्षात आलं का why I have taken L as it is
yes sir
okay now it is simple when we use x sorry L or now this is your equation. This is your equation. Now you put the value of x is equal to L by 4 and L by 2 and calculate the two displacements. What are the displacement? You tell me. X is equal to displacement at x is equal to L by 4 and displacement at L by 2.
Sir, L by 4, sir, 0.05.
0.05 and L by 2
एक मिनट करो sir.
displacement at x is equal to L by 4. It is correct.
Okay. 0.06.
Okay. Okay. Have you got this? Everyone. खाडे लक्षात आले का?
सर कसं काढलंय?
ह्या इक्वेशन मध्ये L ची व्हॅल्यू x ची व्हॅल्यू फक्त L by 4 पुट केली ना, मगाशी काढलं तेच केलंय फक्त. You see here, this is your displacement equation, variable displacement equation. What we need? We need displacement at L by 4. L by 4. You replace this x by L by 4. Okay. Now U1 is your 0.04. U2 is your 0.08. Okay. Or खाडे नाही काय? खाडे आहे का? नाही बहुतेक खाडेची आज absentला होतं बरं का absentच आहे. नेक्स्ट ज्योतिबा उताडे, दिग्विजय जगताप.
Yes, sir.
Have you got it?
Yes, sir.
Next, इंद्रजित मोहिते.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt here? काय डाउट नाही ना? Okay. After that you calculate the strain. After that you calculate the strain. Now for strain calculation, you take the derivative of this. That is, strain is here. Strain in the element is epsilon is equal to du by dx. Epsilon is equal to du by dx. Okay. Now you put the displacement equation. You put the displacement equation here. This is your displacement equation. Okay. This is your displacement equation, or it is your interpolation polynomial, and you take the derivative of this, or you can write in matrix form and you can take the derivative. Okay. Anything which you feel simple, that method you can follow. Now here it is dn1 u1 dn2 u2 by dx. Directly derivative of first shape function. It is, you can see here, it is minus 1 upon L, and derivative of second shape function is 1 upon L. Okay. So you will get minus 1 upon L into u1 plus 1 upon L into u2. Okay. Now you put the values of u1 u2, you will get this as a strain. Any doubt here?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
हाँ सर, बरोबर काय
बरोबर आहे ना? अक्षय शिंदे बरोबर आहे का? अक्षय शिंदे?
हो सर.
नाही तर म्हणशील मला परत बघायला लागते. हे परत काय बघायची गरज नाही ना, हे एकदम सोपं आहे.
अहो ते थिअरी होतं म्हणून म्हटलेलो.
हा, हे एकदम सोपं आहे ना?
हो सर.
हा. Now you got the strain from this. Now after that you calculate the stress. Stress is modulus of elasticity into strain, or you can write in matrix form. You see here, this is a matrix form. Du by dx. Du by dx is dni by dx, dnj by dx, or here dn1 by dx, dn2 by dx into u1 u2. Okay. Now this is the B matrix for this element. B matrix. This is a proper differentiation. Now see here, when we go for next type of element, it will be changed. Now this is your minus 1 by L into this one. Here you make the practice of this. Here this is simple one, but for this element only this one simple, but this is simple for 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional in the form of matrix. Okay, now its strain is like this. Again same result you will get, and stress is stress in the element E into epsilon, okay, and it is 80 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, any doubt in this problems? If you have doubt, you can ask me.